Cuba, it's me, and welcome to episode 24 of The Weekly Whisper. I'm your host, Elian Habanero, and I'm here to talk all things 365 Pro Wrestling, and let's get into it. A little bit of exciting news finally that we have to share with you. I was part of a conference call yesterday. For some reason they've allowed me to, being part of the media of 365, I get to listen in on some of the management decisions and certain things that were discussed, and I know the idea has been tossed around whether or not there would be a women's division, or it would be part of, they would just incorporate the women with the men and have intergender and whatnot, but they've decided to do, once the hiatus is over for live events and 365 returns to you, bringing you some new live action, they're going to have a 365 Grand Champion and a 365 Grand Women's Champion, and they have even gone ahead and purchased the championship belt. So that's some exciting news. I know a lot of people were having different ideas of what they should and shouldn't do, and finally the decision has come down, and I'm pretty honored to have it on my platform, be the one that gets to announce it, so I'm pretty happy with that. Thank you very much for allowing me to be a part of that creative process making. I was just a fly on the wall, and I was happy to get the go-ahead to announce it right here on the Weekly Whisper, which just goes and proves this is the show. If you have anything to announce as far as your if you're a wrestler, a manager, a referee, anything to do with 365 and you have a major announcement, get at me and we'll premiere it on the show, and we'll even get into that a little bit more later. And as far as the YouTube numbers, I usually talk about the YouTube on the show, obviously, and it takes usually like a week and a half, sometimes almost 2 weeks for the payouts to come and the analytics and the numbers for the month to come, and now May has been wrapped up, but finally the numbers came in late last week there, and once again, a record-breaking month for the 365 YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe that, hit the notifications gimmick, and stay up to date. There's daily videos added. They add between 5 to 10 videos every day, if not more, sometimes a lot more. They are videos that, for the most part, 90% of them have never been released on a platform such as YouTube, and there's some different years covered, including they have the brand new podcast, the 365 podcast. We seen a great episode with, or not, we didn't see, but I mean, you can listen to it on YouTube, Google Play, Spotify, and iTunes, and it was the beautiful Bia and Tex Lexus. It was kind of like a moderated face-off, and they both don't have a good taste in each other's mouths for the other, but they were able to get it done, and it was a great listen. And then just yesterday, the Lac Siddhartha one, I've been waiting for a long time. I consider Lac one of my great friends, but I mean, when he's moved back home to British Columbia, I don't get to see him as much. We keep in touch, but it's not the same to hear his voice again. It was really well done, and I really enjoyed that. So make sure you check out the podcast, all the new videos, subscribe, share them, everything else. There are over 1,400 videos. Their subscriber count, they usually get about 10 to 20 new subscribers every week. It's just going through the roof, and they had record number of videos uploaded, record number of views, record number of ads watched, and profit, and just another great month. So we got to thank all the viewers. April and May, and even before that, March was doing really well, and that's kind of where it began to start taking place, and just really going well. And of course, we're going to do some top 5 lists. If you have any suggestions for top 5 lists, please send them in. I am running out of ideas, but we're going to keep it going here. We got the list of people that are roster members in the history of 365 PWA and finishing maneuvers. Now, it may be about the impressive of the move, how many matches won. I don't know. I just do it quickly. A lot of people chimed in on my last week's list and said I left out a lot of people, or I put people who I shouldn't have put in. I just do it quick, whatever comes to mind, and it's fun that way, because if I did do it perfect, everyone would just say, yeah, I agree with that. And it's good to get people going and conversation going, and everybody sees things differently as well. So I just did it. Let's do it. Top 5 finishers in the history of PWA 365, and even though it's a new finisher from a guy who's been around a long time, I'm putting in Joey Allen's headbutt. I know some people don't like it, but he has gone 3-0 since the 365 brand started with that headbutt. And I love the headbutt personally. It's like a throwback. Not a lot of people do it anymore. It's effective. He's got the head for it. I'm putting Joey Allen's headbutt at number 5. Number 4. Man, the guy won like 6 Pure Wrestling Championship titles with this. The Ontario titles, some tag team titles. The Greetings from Jamaica. Big ticket Reggie Marley. It laid me down for the count in the last match I ever had. The Greetings from Jamaica has gotten over hundreds of wins over the years. And I just got some old tapes from Reggie Marley dropped off that will be making their way onto YouTube eventually here. And the guy's been doing that move for about 22 years. So he just honed it and got better and better and better. So I'm putting Greetings from Jamaica at number 4. And it's funny because I heard an announcer, he used to do that, like the famouser leg drop bulldog thing. And someone called that Greetings from Jamaica, but it turned into being the on-the-shoulder, spin-out face buster. That was what I was classifying as the Greetings from Jamaica. Number 3, I got MVP Michael Von Payton, the spinning side slam. I believe they called it the Mindbender. I guess I should have looked that up before I did this show. But it's the one where he takes you and he just spins you, and then boom, plants you. I love that one. I love the Mindbender, and I don't remember anyone doing it before him. I've seen it a lot since then. And he had an MVP challenge going for like well over a year where he was undefeated with that move. So I got to put the MVP Michael Von Payton Mindbender up there in the 3rd spot. In the number 2 spot, Lenny Lilac dropping the elbow. That's a devastating move. I know it's not a new move, that it's something that people have seen for years in wrestling, but I don't know if anyone's ever done it as good as Lenny Lilac, has done it as effectively as him. I don't think anyone's ever kicked out of it. If they are, I mean, please correct me if I'm wrong. And just the visual, the sound, everything about that Lenny elbow drop is very impressive, and it almost got the number 1 spot. But I put, in the number 1 spot, I put the River City Driver, which it has been called the Troll Bounce. Oh, excuse me. It has been called the Troll Bounce. It's been called a bunch of different things. I believe now it's called the River City Driver. It's like the sit-down tombstone pile driver that Eddie Osborne has used. He didn't always use it as a finisher, but in more recent years it's won him a lot of matches, and it's just, out of all these moves, I would have to say the River City Driver is probably the most dangerous. So that's my top 5 finishers in the history of 365 PWA. I know I left a bunch of people out. Who did I leave out? Hit me in the comments. Who's your top 5? Who does your top 5 finishers in the nearly 15 years of the company 365/PWA? And we're going to do one more here. Top 5 tag teams in the history of 365 PWA. Now this one, I'm sure I'm going to ruffle a few feathers on it again, but I'm just looking at, because there's been a lot of great tag teams that only did a match or 2. I'm looking at quantity, people that did a lot of matches as a tag team throughout the years and probably had a lot of success as well. So let's do it. My top 5 tag teams in the history of 365 PWA. First, I got Buck 10 and Tom Ryder. I believe what they were called, like Loose Change or Spare Change, or that might have been the one with Eazy-E, I'm not sure. But I believe they won the PWA Tag Team Champions on 2, possibly 3 occasions. They had a lot of success, and they both had heart, and they got over with the crowd as far as the fans loved cheering for them. They got a lot of respect, so I'm going to put Buck 10 and Tom Ryder at number 5. At number 4, also and kind of in the same era as Buck 10 Tom Ryder, I'm putting Money and Power, Jesse Jones and Lax Siddhartha, who I just spoke about his new podcast. I wonder if we'll hear anything about that on the podcast, about his days with Jesse Jones, and then eventually he split during like the Elements area. But Money and Power, Jesse Jones and Lax Siddhartha got my number 4 spot. And going through this, I realized there really was not that many tag teams over the, like, consistent tag teams over the years. There was a lot of pairings, but like tag teams that actually, you know, like got a name together or even got outfits done together or went on a long series of matches, like over a year, instead of just doing a match here and there. So Money and Power is number 3, or number 4. Number 3, I got Mr. Atlantis and Paul Wright, the Screaming Egos. Now the reason I put this is they both worked hard. They had both been in previous tag teams before, But I put this because of my cameraman. He literally cried when they broke up, and that was his favorite tag team of all time. He loved the glasses. He loved everything about them, and they deserve it. They worked hard, and they deserve to be in the third spot, in my opinion. So that leaves us with two more. We got, at the number 2 spot, I put Super Reversos. We had never seen a team like them come together as they did in the last couple years here. Super Reversos looked the part, acted the part. They were a true tag team of all the forms of the definition of it, and I put them at number 2. They could do some really creative stuff when they were apart, but when they came together, it was really magic, and I've seen a lot of awesome Super Reverso contests, or I've seen them compete against a lot of people. So that leaves us only with one spot, and I think if you follow PWA, this was N365. This is the epitome of a tag team. When you think of tag teams, for me, you think of Modern Day Warriors. I even wrote a song for them, Modern Day Warriors Tribute. Type it in on YouTube. They're the Modern Day Warriors, MDW. Better watch out because they will punish you. It's pretty cool. And there is 2 versions of Modern Day Warriors. Which one was your favorite? I'm going with the original. You know, I like Jimmy King and Joey Allen together, and they had tons of success too. But the original Derek Platinum and Jimmy King, it gets the number 1 spot. And honestly, could have put both versions on this list, and I feel got away with it. So that's my top 5 tag teams in the history of PWA 365. We got Buck 10 and Tom Ryder, Jesse Jones and Lax Siddhartha, the Super Reversos, Super K and El Reverso, Mr. Atlantis and Paul Wright at number 3, then the Super Reversos, and then Modern Day Warriors. And I got another first here on the show. I'm pretty happy about this. Things are starting to really just get more and more successful for me here on the Weekly Whisper. I have my first sponsor, my first paid advertisement, and I was blessed to have this commercial sent in, and they paid for the time on the show, and we're going to go to that right now. I'm pretty proud of this. Let's do it. He's the man when it comes to merchandise, and he's done it again. Lenny Lilac proudly presents his new shirts coming soon. Pre-order now. All sizes available. Save $5 with the promo code TEMPLE. Here comes the boom indeed. I can't wait to get my hands on one of them, one of those 3 designs there, and I'm just grateful. If you have anybody that wants to get a shirt, you can get in touch with me at ctw52@hotmail.com or on Facebook Messenger, and I can point you in the right direction. And also, if you had some kind of thing that you wanted to advertise on the Weekly Whisper, same thing, ctw52@hotmail.com or Facebook Messenger is the best way to reach me, and I will we'll figure out a way to come to a compromise to get your advertisement displayed on the Whisper. And other than that, I think all we got to do is make sure that you like, or you get a leg drop, comment, or you get a clothesline, subscribe, or you get a suplex, and share, or you get a sleeper. I'm your host, Elian Habanero. I love wrestling. Cuba!